Thank you for joining me here. I'm gonna just get started in a minute once we get a few people more on the stream. We got Paul and Robert in. Hey, how you doing, bros? What's going on? Hope all is well. I'm just going to we're going to talk about pyramid schemes and scams and that sort of thing. Run into a few lately, especially online. There's a bunch of them going around. They seem to target women's groups on Facebook and other social media sites for the most part, but everybody gets involved. Everybody gets scammed on them at some point, and there's been some really huge ones. There is a difference between a pyramid scheme and a Ponzi scheme and a multi-level marketing or MLM type system. The differences are relatively minor. They can be blurred pretty easily, but they do have some differences between them, so we'll kind of chat about those as well. But let's sort of get started, I guess. Probably the best one or the most common one that's going around right now is this one. This is the secret holiday gift and or wine exchange. So I've seen this one pop up on a bunch of different friends' websites, especially on Facebook. A lot of different people trying to get involved, and it sounds great if you actually read through the description there. What's happening is you contribute one bottle of wine. So you're supposed to buy yourself a bottle of wine and contribute it to the group. It's either like a minimal value, like $12 or $15 bottle of wine. You contribute it to the group, and in the end, you're supposed to get back anywhere from 6 to 36 bottles of wine out of this gift exchange. And that sounds fantastic. And that probably should be your first clue as to why this isn't the greatest idea. Generally speaking, you don't get something for nothing. That's just kind of the way the world works. So that's usually the first kind of tip off, but they make it seem real nice. They have some Christmas trees and all that sort of stuff. Generally speaking, this has been debunked a number of times. Sonia McQueen just jumped in. Thanks, Sonia, for joining us. So it goes by a bunch of different names. There's a wine exchange, there's a gift exchange, and if you go over to Snopes is one of my favorite websites. I think they've had some controversy as of late when it comes to more political issues. But Snopes in general, if you're looking to find out whether something is a scam, whether something's an urban legend or something like that, go to Snopes.com, S-N-O-P-E-S, and for the most part, they've investigated a lot of these things. And they've been doing this for a very long time, so there's a fairly big database there. So past ones I think I remember seeing were things like the magic eraser. People were saying that the magic eraser contained dangerous chemicals and acids in them and all this sort of stuff, and children were burning themselves. And if you go to Snopes, what you found out was yes and no. Children were burning themselves because it was a microabrasive piece of material, and when they're rubbing it on their faces, they got what was the equivalent of a fairly severe carpet burn. It wasn't because there were chemicals or dangerous chemicals in the magic eraser. So that's just one of the things that they've done. And they've actually looked into the Sisters gift exchange, or the secret Sisters gift exchange, and they found it to be a hoax. It is a pyramid scheme, and for various reasons that we'll get into as well. So if you go through, if you actually have a look, the Sisters gift exchange is structured much the same way. So if you have a look and read through if you like, but basically you put in a small amount, and now in these type of programs, they've kind of changed it to be gifts. In a traditional pyramid scheme, what you're doing is actually investing money. But either way, there's some item of value, and whatever you put in, you're supposed to get out a lot more in a very short period of time. So that's sort of the basic structure of a pyramid scheme. So with very little effort on your part, you can make a lot of money quickly, and that's the attractiveness of a pyramid scheme for most people. The problem with that is this. So here's what a traditional pyramid scheme looks like. This is from the Securities Exchange Commission in the United States, because they do investigate pyramid schemes because they are illegal. They are illegal, fraudulent ways of making money. And then when you get into a Ponzi scheme, which we'll discuss in a second, it's slightly different, but basically this is how it works as well. Adam's jumping in. Hey, how you doing? So here it is. Basically, you start at the top, so there's one person on the top. If you have a look to your right side of the screen, which is this way, this side of the screen, so there's one person there on top, and the number is 6. So if you're looking at the wine exchange, this is basically how it works. So one person is supposed to collect 6 bottles of wine. That's the minimum guarantee on this Christmas wine exchange. But since every person is contributing 1 bottle of wine, that means that one person has to find 6 people who will give 1 bottle of wine each to that one person. Now, each of those 6 people must go out on level 2 there and find 6 bottles of wine from 6 different people. So each of those 6 people that they find contribute 1 bottle of wine, just like on the first level. But now you've got 6 people looking for 6 people to give them bottles of wine. 6 times 6, so there's 36 people that you need to find to contribute 1 bottle of wine each to this wine exchange. Once you get past that level, now those 36 people who just contributed 1 bottle of wine have to find 6 people each to all contribute 1 bottle of wine, so they get the minimum 6 bottles of wine each. 6 times 36 is 216 on level 3. And as you can see, each level that you go up, the number gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The attractiveness of a pyramid scheme is that you're hoping, if you know that it's a pyramid scheme and you know that you're scamming people, you're hoping that you're higher up on this pyramid. Problem is, you never know when it's going to end. The pyramid could collapse on the second level, so you could be one of those first group of people that gave a bottle of wine to the first person, and now at the second level you're not able to find 6 people to basically scam to give you 6 bottles of wine. So the pyramid collapses and you don't get anything. The longer the pyramid goes on, the more people get involved, and as the more people get involved, it's the greater likelihood that a larger number of people will get scammed. So if you look at the entire pyramid, eventually it just multiplies. So it keeps getting larger and larger and larger as the levels progress. By the time you get down to about level 11 on this particular type of pyramid, you have more people involved than the entire population of the United States of America. If you continue down to the next level, you're down to like 2.1 billion people. So at level 12 there, and that is basically, I believe, the population of China and India combined. So at some point, these things just become unsustainable, and they do collapse. And all the people at that level who contributed 1 bottle of wine, in this example, or contributed $10,000 or whatever it was that was their initial contribution and are now waiting to get paid off, don't get paid off. That's how these things work and how they end up collapsing. So it is a scam. In traditional pyramid schemes, there's another little level to it. So you get like, if you're down by the time you get to the 6th level, you're out there collecting, say, 6 bottles of wine, so 1 bottle of wine each from 6 different people, but you pass one of those up to the next level as sort of a residual or a commission structure to the person that was above you. That way the people above continue to get fed by the people below. And that way the money keeps flowing to the top. So the person who started the pyramid scheme gets very wealthy very quickly, while everybody else, the returns continue to diminish the further down the pyramid you go. So that's how you can recognize a pyramid scheme. Basically, if there's more money in finding recruits, if you get bigger rewards from finding recruits than you do from actually the products that you're selling, this is where multi-level marketing comes in. So multi-level marketing, or MLMs as they're called, there is a legal way to do it, and a lot of companies actually operate this way. So if you have a look at this pyramid here, this is how a legal pyramid type structure for a corporation will work. You have a business owner, which is a relatively small number of people who own the business, or a manufacturer. Manufacturer creates actual products. So there's actual value. There's something that they're selling. They sell those products to wholesalers, which is, again, a slightly larger group of people. Those wholesalers then sell them to retailers. Now, depending on what industry you're in, there may or may not be a wholesaler involved. The products may go directly from the manufacturer to the retailer. Point being, there's a lot more retailers out there than there are manufacturers. So if you look at any kind of toy or video game system like a PlayStation from Sony, Sony is one company, but they sell that product through a large number of retailers like Walmart, EB Games, or various other places where you can purchase a Sony PlayStation, for example. Then there are consumers. So you have your store like a Walmart, so it's a one store like a Walmart, but many people shop there and buy many copies of that product. Therefore, the consumer base is larger. The big differentiator here is that the value flows downwards. So the manufacturer gets a small dollar value for their product. The wholesaler sells it for slightly more than they bought it from the manufacturer. The prices get higher, but the consumers at the end of it do get value. They get a product in a reasonable price, or you hope it's in a reasonable price. What ends up happening in a lot of multi-level marketing situations is that the product that you're buying, and these are a lot of home-based type products, they are extremely overpriced. Some of the examples you give, or alleged examples you give, are things like doTERRA essential oils, green coffee beans, a lot of these sort of weight loss products, or skincare products that are mostly sold by people, mainly women, working out of their homes, and they're sold to these people as a great business opportunity, a great opportunity for them to make money while they're staying at home, while they're on maternity leave, or if they happen to be stay-at-home moms, or to supplement part-time income. And so that's the hook. The hook is to get these people in so that they're purchasing these products in bulk from the manufacturer or the supplier. The key here is the products may or may not be good. It really doesn't matter. The whole point of a system like that is to get people to buy large quantities of products. So if I was the person staying at home selling these products, like Avon back in the day was an example. I don't know if Avon specifically was a pyramid scheme, so I don't know that. I'm not saying that. It's just the only name I could think of. But if I buy them, I'm supposed to buy a large number of products from that company and then recruit my friends and family to also become salespeople. And that's how I really make money. So I'm making a lot more money on the recruitment side than I am in the actual selling of the product. And that's how government agencies like the SEC in the United States and other agencies here in Canada differentiate between a MLM, a legitimate MLM, multi-level marketing type company or corporation that is selling legitimate products of value to the market, and scams or pyramid type schemes. If the bulk of your income is coming from people who are being recruited to you, and you're just making money off of your recruits as your main source of income, then they generally classify that as a scam. It is illegal, and they'll pursue you and shut you down. Hey, Bruce Johnson is watching. Hey, Bruce, all the way from Costa Rica. Hope you're having fun. It's not cold here yet, not snowing, so there you go. So that's in a nutshell how that works. If you look at, it's kind of funny, I always found, this particular example, I won't say the name of the company, but they have a pyramid. So a lot of these companies, I don't know if it's subconscious, if it's some sort of almost Freudian type slip or some kind of guilt that plays on them, but they actually have a pyramids sort of ingrained in their description of their products and how things work. So if you look at the compensation structure a lot of times, and I've seen a few of them, they actually resemble an actual pyramid. So if you're looking at them, it's kind of a really easy visual tip-off in that case. So I'm just going to scroll down here. And basically, for the Christmas one, I thought it was kind of funny because it's a Christmas gift exchange, a Christmas wine bottle exchange, what have you. That, it just struck me as funny that Christmas trees are kind of pyramid-shaped too. So that's kind of a tip-off too. This is like a little Illuminati pyramid. I don't know if the Illuminati is involved in the pyramid schemes, but I wouldn't be surprised because they're involved in everything else. So who else do we have here? We got Adrian. Hey, Adrian. How you doing? Bruce is still hanging around. I haven't insulted him enough, I guess. So I hope, keep an eye out. If it seems too good to be true, like your mother told you, it probably is. You can't get something for nothing. I wish you could. I wish I could too, but generally speaking, you got to work for what you get in this world. The more you give out, actually, the more you get back, I always find. Rather than looking for things, if you help people and are kind to people, give people a leg up, and they kind of pull you up with them. That's kind of the way I always see it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I know it's a Saturday night. Hopefully you have something more interesting to do with the rest of your evening. I obviously do not. If you are looking for me online, I am the Geeky Agent. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, Pinterest, and Tumblr. I don't do a whole lot on Snapchat, Pinterest, and or Tumblr, but I am everywhere else pretty frequently, although I do use those. I'm also on the PlayStation Network as the Geeky Agent. Chances are, if you see the Geeky Agent there, it's one of my kids running around shooting people and stuff, but I am occasionally there as well. This is the Geeky Agent, and it has been Remax Geek TV, or at least my version of it. So I do appreciate you checking us out. If you need to reach me to talk about this or real estate or what's happening in and around Hamilton, or just to chat and say hi and happy holidays and that sort of thing, You can reach me at 289-237-9896. You can email me at tony@thegeekyagent.com. There's somebody mentioning me right there. I forgot to turn my phone off. Sorry. So feel free to contact me there. If you want to check me out online, you can find me at thegeekyagent.com. Look me up at hamiltonlifestylesearch.com if you're looking for a home in the Hamilton area. You can do all kinds of searches, including a commute time search. So type in your work address and say, I only want to work 45 minutes or less away from where I need to work. I want to live, 45 minutes or less away from where I work, and it will find properties within that search parameter for you. So that's kind of neat, a little bit different than what most other websites do. And that is about it for today. So just a quick little chat with y'all there. Hopefully that information was helpful. Please be careful when you're surfing online. Everything seems really cool most of the time. And like I said, if it seems too good to be true, generally speaking, it is. And that's it for me tonight. Thank you again for tuning in. I do appreciate you. This video will be posted on YouTube eventually at youtube.com/thegeekyagent. Please feel free, if you are watching this on YouTube, to go and subscribe to be notified when new videos are posted. We post property videos, videos like this, informational type stuff, market updates, and a lot of fun stuff too. So thank you all very much. I hope you have a great night, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.